What if I told you that in just 365 days, your life can absolutely change? You can move from being a regular nurse, working in a treacherous environment like the ICU, move to the ER, work in the UK as a registered nurse, and also move to Canada, a completely different country, a completely different terrain, and practice and thrive as well. You'd probably laugh and say this is all a dream, but it happened to me. Hi there, my name is Joseph, and you've just found my channel. Honestly, I wish I could tell you I had a 5-step plan. I wish I could tell you I mapped this out strategically, step by step. But no, all I had at the time was just a dream to be better than where I currently was at the time, and opportunities, something that Christians like to call kairos. But enough preaching on my part. Where was I before? How did I move to this place? That is what episode 1 is all about. A story starts a long time ago. Story. I was a 16-year-old boy who had just finished high school. I was trying to leave home, not because anything was happening at home, but because I thought I could do a better job than my parents. So if you are watching this video and you still have the opportunity to live with your folks, please take the opportunity. Adulting is hard. But yeah, so I thought I could do a better job than them. I decided to, I just tested for the world. I wanted to be free. I wanted my independence. I wanted to be able to go out and come back whenever I wanted. And I thought I could handle it. Now, if this was a Hollywood movie, I would have some skill. I'll probably be a good artist. I would know how to sing, act, dance, or even play sports or something. But I had zero skill. I'm telling you, zero. So again, if you're watching this, you don't have any skill. I'm your guy. Yeah? So I had no skill. I had to opt for an alternative. Here comes education. Because if you're a typical Nigerian, you know that the fastest way to leave your parents' house as a teenager is just to go to the university. They will support it, they will pay for it, and they will pay for you to even go. So that was my case. I decided to apply to universities with the intention to study medicine because I felt like, well, I like people, I like to talk. I'm passionate about having interactions with people. And this would give me an opportunity to do that and also hold a prestigious career as a Nigerian child. I applied to the prestigious University of Lagos, Nigeria, and unfortunately, I didn't get the cutoff for medicine. So my parents were like, oh, it's fine, you can try again next year. But I thought about it. Stay at home again 1 more year with you people? Bruh, I didn't stay at home 1 more year. I asked the school to give me anything. And yes, they heeded my call. They gave me anything. I suddenly became a student of zoology. Yeah, zoology. Someone that cannot kill cockroach. Someone that's scared of spiders. Someone that's scared of dogs, cats. Any animal basically. Not in close proximity with me. But I just took it because I just wanted to, like I said before, enjoy myself and have that freedom. And have freedom I did. It came with a lot of mistakes that I wouldn't get into here for the sake of time. But as I started to verge towards the end of my program, I started to discover that I don't have what it takes to survive in the real world. What would I do when I'm done with this program? Where can I work in my country? It's quite challenging if you're Nigerian trying to work as a zoologist, if you know what I mean. So I had to look for an alternative plan. If you're following this story, you would see that I love alternatives. I always like to have alternatives. So I thought, okay, fine, I could teach. But teach where? Not in some high school. I knew how bad I was as a student in high school. I didn't want that. I thought, okay, fine, maybe I could lecture. And to lecture, I need to have a master's. So I started to apply to universities abroad for a master's program. And as God will have it, I eventually got accepted to the University of South Wales in the UK. And in 2021, I migrated for my master's degree. When I got to the UK, it was an entirely different ball game. Harsh weathers, different culture. I barely understood what they said because their intonation and how they pronounce words were quite different from what I've been familiar with for the better part of the earlier years. So I had to relearn. I had to learn to fend for myself. I had to learn to work. I had to learn to strategize, to plan my savings. I had to learn to actually even save in the first place, which was hard because I was used to splurging. While I was studying for my master's, the only place I could get a job was in the hospital. Now why? It was COVID. People were sick everywhere, and the hospitals were overflowing, so they needed staff to cover. So I had to work as a healthcare assistant, pushing beds and running errands for the nurses. Most other people I worked with thought this was a hard job, and I understand it's a hard job, especially when you don't particularly enjoy it. But in all that chaos, I started to find myself. I started to connect with people who were really sick. I started to connect with their relatives who were looking after them. I started to understand people's beliefs, their cultures, their values. There were people who didn't believe in modern medicine. There were people who believed in modern medicine. There were people who believed in my faith and the power of healing. It really opened up a new awareness for me that in this career, I could thrive if I give it a shot. Now, the only daunting task was going back to school to study it, because it's a professional course and you need to have a degree to have a license to practice. So when my colleagues were graduating and going into career paths in different areas and in different fields, I had to bend my head between my legs and take the long walk back to the university to study again for a third time. In retrospect, I see that every detour, every delay, every alternative I took led me to where I am today. And this is for you watching, my dear viewers. Perhaps there is something you're particularly interested in, but you're concerned because you're already in a career path that you've given years to. Or you're about to start a business, but you're concerned because you currently have children or a relationship or family responsibilities that you're already connected to. I'm saying there is no better time than now. Put it in writing. Talk to somebody about it. Look at people who are already in these areas and see their stories. I like to quote a man, Apostle Peter. He said, every temptation you see today is also being experienced by your brothers and sisters all over the world. What he was trying to say in layman's terms is that there is nothing that is new under the sun. So if it's something you particularly want to pursue that could change your life in 365 days, this might just be the step you need to pursue it. Anyway, I went back to school, and after 24 grueling months, I became a registered nurse. But I didn't just stop there. My past and every alternative I had to take told me there's so much more for me. So as a new grad nurse who is always told you can't go into certain positions until you play the long road, I told myself I will never stop at bare minimum. So as a new grad, I went straight to the ICU. I applied for multiple hospitals, got rejected a lot of times, but eventually got accepted by Imperial College London, a level 1 trauma center in central London. It was an eye-opener, boxed up my CV, but not only that, built my charisma, built my character, and built my resilience. When I was not working in the ICU, I would go to the ER to pick up a few skills that I don't particularly use in the ICU. Now, these words might be a bit alien or foreign to you if you're not in healthcare, and in my subsequent videos, I will break them down for you on my particular experiences in these areas and how they can translate into your life. But for the purpose of this episode, I would like to continue, so just bear with me. So when I was not in the ICU, I would go to the ER, work a little bit, go to MedSurg, work a little bit. It's like saying you're working in Sainsbury's, and when you're off Sainsbury's, you're going to go work in Tesco's or work in Aldi or work in ShopRite. Why? Because you're building the experience. And if you remember what I said in the beginning, opportunities will always present himself or themselves or itself. Another wise man once said, I know that opportunity will always come again. I need to meet me ready. And that's what happened. Because while I was studying for my nursing degree, the opportunity came out to apply to Canada. I decided to pursue a career in Canada, even when people said you are too new in your career to do this. And within 6 to 8 months of practicing in the UK, I got offers to come practice in Canada. And today, I'm a qualified nurse, not just in the UK, but in Canada, with multiple experiences in different areas, just under a year. If you stayed with me this long, this is to reassure you, again, that your dreams are not invalid. Your dreams are not too crazy. Your dreams are not too big for you. The fact that you can dream it shows that you have everything within you to make it happen. Not necessarily money, because yes, money is important, but you always come last. You have to just dream first and take that first step. This is how I went from zoology to nursing. Thank Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.